Okay, let's get some practice factoring trinomials. Here I have 4 different trinomials, and I'm going to quickly give you an example of factoring each of them. The reason I have these 4 examples so that you can see an example of each different combination of signs and what they mean. Let's begin. First, this one, x squared plus 5x plus 6. I see that that's a plus sign, which tells me that these 2 signs have to be the same. Which the same? Oh, they're both going to be pluses. So I put an x plus, and I put an x plus. What are 2 numbers that multiply together to be 6 and add together to be 5? I believe that is a 3 and a 2, because 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 plus 2 is 5. This one is done. Let's move over to this one now. We have x squared minus 2x minus 15. I'm going to put my 2 binomials down, an x and an x. This minus sign is telling me that these 2 signs have to be different, so I put a plus and I put a minus. What are 2 numbers that will multiply together to be 15 and have a difference of 2 like that? Well, let's see here. 3 times 5 would give me my 15, and since I want it to become negative, I'm going to put the dominant number with the negative. So the dominant number actually is going to be a 5, and I'll put my 3 right there. I think this works. 3 times negative 5 gives me negative 15, and 3 plus negative 5 gives me negative 2. So this one is done. Let's take a look now at this one. X squared plus 6x minus 16. I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 binomials down, an x and an x. I'm looking at this subtraction sign. That one's telling me that these signs have to be different. What are 2 numbers that multiply together to be 16 and add up to be 6, or have a difference of 6? Well, let's see. What comes to mind is an 8 and a 2, because 8 times 2 gives me 16, and the difference between an 8 and a 2 is a 6. So, if I want it to be a positive 6, I'm going to put the dominant number with the plus and put the less dominant number with the 2. Let's see. 8 times negative 2 is negative 6. 8 plus negative 2 is 6. So this one is done. Let's take a look now at the final one. We have x squared minus 6x plus 8. I'm going to put my 2 binomials down, put in the x and the x. I'm looking at this plus sign. That plus sign is telling me that these 2 signs have to be the same. But which the same? By looking at this one, I can tell that they both have to be minuses. Now, what are 2 numbers that multiply together to be 8 and that add up to be 6? The best thing that comes to mind is a 4 and a 2. Let's just test it. Negative 4 times negative 2 is a positive 8, and a negative 4 plus a negative 2 is a negative 6. So this one has been factored.